Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is you are in the world, and welcome to another edition of Living World of Darkness. This is New York Street Magic, the main venue. Our scene finds us today in a lonely courtyard, well away from the prying eyes of the average sleeper, well away from, hopefully, the prying eyes of any of the members of the technocracy, and a place where two magi can get together and do their thing without fear of being harassed. Maggie sent word to Taylor and where to meet her and what time. It's shortly before sundown. And she's sitting there in a navy peacoat, um, with a cigarette in between her fingers as she sort of looks down at the sort of stale, stagnant water sitting in an old fountain.
And Taylor has responded, gotcha, be there, and will be spotted walking up with, her little pack slung over her shoulder. And actually, she will have her hands busy as she's walking. And if I can remember, so -3 diff plus 1 diff. So diff 4. And she has, we'll go with a single needle because crocheting is just easier for Katie, and so she can grasp the idea of walking and doing it at the same time much more readily. She's wearing her coveralls, and there is a strand of yarn coming out of one of her pockets. And, oh god, that's not the best roll I've ever done. But that's okay, because that's still 3 successes, which is ridiculous. And it's not her best work, especially walking and going, but she can pull it out if she has to. And she is, in fact, just slipping real simple, like, slip the crochet hook through, grab the yarn, pull, and just kind of rhythmically doing that as she finally kind of glances up and looks around as she gets closer to her destination. And, well, Maggie with that hair ain't the hardest person to spot. So she'll kind of shift the small-ish scarf that she's working on to one hand, lifting the other one to kind of wave.
Maggie will pick up her bag and walk towards Taylor and just give her a pat to the shoulder. All right. Good to know you can follow direction.
Well, yeah.
Come on, I want to show you a place.
All right.
And they will walk a few blocks down towards the Bronx Botanical Gardens. And she will lead Taylor to this massive bit of flora just sticking out of the ground, this giant tree that appeared suddenly overnight. And Maggie will sort of look around to make sure that no one's there, and she will step over the guardrail, offer out a hand to Taylor.
And sure, it's offered, so she's going to take it. And, I mean, if nothing else, she's also got that little project in the one hand, so a little help never hurt. And yeah, she'll make for a hop over the guardrail and kind of slip closer to the tree, doing that little slinky walk you do when you're like, don't pay attention to me. I'm just going here. Nobody look.
And Maggie will lead her into the hollow of the tree and then set her in front of an area that kind of looks like the almost like the heat distortion sort of waviness.
Yep, heat waves.
And she will just give Taylor the tiniest little of shoves.
Give her a nudge in the right direction, as it were.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yep, she'll duck into the hollow, which is probably dark, all things considered. So without much time to like really adjust her sight, she will assume that Maggie knows where they're going and just kind of blindly step where she's nudged, which is
And
to comical effect, really.
and I'm sure that she'll feel the odd sensation of crossing through the gauntlet as she is pushed through the open spot, the gateway, basically.
Mm-hmm. And into the hollow
And
of the spirit reflection, I guess.
yes, it is, which
So
is much larger.
she'll probably still kind of get the Wiggins from the crossover and kind of squeak in surprise as she passes through. And all things considered, it's still night, so she doesn't get the immediate shock of her surroundings. Um, and being inside the hollow, yeah, she just kind of gives a squeak and pauses all of a step or two through, kind of blindly reaching back and going, What just happened?"
And Maggie will step through a moment later, shake out her hair a bit, and then look at Taylor with a smirk. You just stepped through into the spirit realm,
It's what?
the Umbra.
What? What?
She'll just take Taylor by the hand and lead her out so she can see the umbral scape for its true beauty. This tree, which is now massively towering.
And yeah, thankfully Maggie's there because there's a door in the trunk and there's no way she would have found that by herself. So once the door opens and there's moonlight and starlight and all the nifty little glows that come with being Umbra side, she'll go ahead and pile out and just kind of blink outwards. She's not even thinking to look back at the tree above her, just kind of looking out over the park, which is now suddenly like this lush, wild landscape, at least as far as the park reaches. And, she'll seem real taken with it and do the goofy little grin. I think I like it.
Well, it's kind of quite a sight to behold, and she'll take Taylor and spin around so she can see the tree and how big it's gotten.
And yeah, she is coaxed into an about face, at which point she realizes that trunk is, what, 3-4 times as wide as it was? Maybe more? And kind of starts looking up and up and up. Holy shit! That's a really big tree.
Say hello to Yggdrasil.
Like literally?
Well, I mean, it's not like the world tree, but I mean, it is a big tree with a spirit that lives inside of it that goes by the name of Yggdrasil.
Well, how do you know it's not the real one?
I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say a tree that connects all the realms together wouldn't have only one opening into two different worlds. So
Maybe you just don't know how to go through it right to get anywhere else.
fair point, but I'm going to go ahead and say that this probably isn't like the legit world tree. The gods and the Aesir tend to not be subtle. This is far too subtle for their flair.
I mean, if you say so, it doesn't look subtle to me.
This is subtle, trust me, compared to what we've seen.
She's still staring like straight up this trunk.
So you were you were trying to figure out the extent of your power, yeah?
Can you climb it? She's still staring up the branches. Can you climb it?
No. Taylor.
What?
Her fingers a few times.
What? But how can you see a tree that big and not want to climb it?
Because I prefer to be on the ground and not, climbing up a giant tree.
I mean, just look at the size of even the lower branches are like as thick as a road. You can't fall off that.
I would not climb it without asking Yggdrasil first.
And she'll kind of glance around as if like, I mean, do you just? She kind of leans in. Do you just talk to the tree? Is that what you do?
Maggie has to think really long and hard about how much of a smartass she wants to be right now. But she decides against doing anything that would be considered asshole-ish, and she'll simply she'll shake her head. No, the spirit's around when she wants to be around. She just doesn't have to be around right now.
Okay. Well then, I guess I'll put a pin in that for now. But yeah, I want to figure out how to do the stuff and the things. Found my crochet hook though. She kind of wiggles it.
Cool.
Look, I know you haven't seen my workshop, but there's a lot of stuff in there.
Is it a mess?
I mean, it's definitely cluttered. I don't know if I'd go calling it a mess. I usually know where stuff is, but the little things, and she pulls the loop that the hook's currently in. She actually pulls an excessive amount of yarn through so it can't like accidentally get pulled on, and then slips the hook out. I mean, it's even smaller than a pen. I lose pens all the time.
It sounds like a mess.
Well, if you want to get all technical and stuff, it's probably technically a mess. But you know, it's fine. It's good. I like it that way.
So, you created a fireball and you threw it at someone.
Nah, he just lit on fire.
So you lit somebody on fire.
Yeah.
All right. Well, can you do it again?
I don't know. I mean, the last time there was a voice told me how to do it. And, well, whoever was in my noggin isn't there right now, I guess.
Were you feeling or talking about or thinking about anything at the time?
Well, I mean, I was mad. This guy had, he kind of scared me. And, then he and his flunky type guys, they kind of muscled us around and made us come sit at a table, and I'd ordered coffee and I thought I'd throw it in his face and burn him. And well, I didn't throw the coffee, but I burned him. The voice was saying something like, well, if you want to burn him, just do this.
And
But
what did it say to do?
I mean, I don't know. I wasn't thinking. It just
Happened.
kind of felt a certain way, and I wanted to do it. So I just kind of, I don't know, I did the thing.
Did you feel anything while you were doing it? I mean, did you feel connected to anything? Did you feel essence flowing through you? I mean, what were your sensations at the time?
I mean, I don't know. I was just real caught up in being mad at him at the time. He'd said I could go, but the girl with me couldn't. That she had to stay because she was in trouble for something she'd done. And he looked so smug. She kind of shrugs helplessly. I wasn't really thinking when I did it.
Well, how good are you at clearing your mind then?
She kind of knits her brow for a second and tilts her head as if, it's that kind of like, it's almost the really look. How many artists do you know? Clear isn't exactly our natural state of mind. Not unless we're working on something, anyways. You can get real focused on that.
Is crocheting the only thing you can do?
What? Oh, no. I do lots of stuff. Sewing is actually the one I learned on, but I do sewing. I'm not the best sculptor, but I can do the details for my props. Usually use foam though, not like clay. Then, there's the leather. I've done some soldering for little pieces of jewelry. Nothing like blacksmithy. Where the heck would I put a forge? And who would I even learn from? But that'd be really cool. I'd totally learn it if I could find a mentor and a forge. But let's see. I've done some glass blowing before, but again, you kind of need the tools for it.
A hot stove? Hot
Not
oven?
Nah, you gotta have
Furnace?
the little torchy thing. And of course the right tools for either blowing the glass or shaping the glass. It's neat, but it's not like almost every craft there's kind of a startup cost. Getting all the tools and the things and I got the best embroidery machine. It's beautiful. I haven't named her yet. But yeah, I do a lot of stuff. Like, have you ever seen a professional cosplayer?
Yeah.
The ones that they do the wig, they design the makeup, they make a costume and all these crazy props and jewelry. And yeah, that's what I do. Pretty much. They just don't have that following they do. It's hard.
I'm trying to think of how, for you, what the mechanism is for you to do your magic.
Well,
like for me, it's it's a number of things: fluid gestures, tarot cards, or even just as you saw yesterday, art.
Sorry, you saw yesterday what?
Or as you saw yesterday, art.
Well, I saw you make the fire. Oh, that's right. And you made it a lotus. I guess that does count as art, doesn't it?
That's not what I meant, but yeah. See, every mage has a specific way of viewing the universe, existence, their magic. And then they channel that through a specific way of applying their magic to reality. So I'm trying to help you figure out,
that's how it actually works. It's just kind of hard to decide. I read a lot of books, a lot of different theories on how magic works, but they're just books. But there's some with ley lines and nodes, and there's some with a weave. I like that. And there's all sorts. It's kind of hard to say I believe in one more than the others unless you know what you're looking at.
Well, if you're very focused in your craft and making things, maybe we can help you bring about some of that fire by making something.
Well, yeah, I guess. I mean, worth a shot, right? Have to do a more complicated pattern than this, though, and she'll start kind of tugging a bit on the yarn, making that big loop smaller and smaller as she debates whether to pull it out and start over. Yeah, sure,
Maggie
give it a
will
shot.
Maggie will pull out one of her paint markers and begin to do an intricate design around her forearms and hands.
Oh, I get it now.
Oh shit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, she makes a hell of probably mandalas all around her arm.
Nice.
And she'll sort of wait for it to dry a bit, and then she'll come together. And she will channel her essence. And she will bring it through her heart chakra and manifest it into her hand. She'll have to spin a point to point for a moment. And this is a rote for her. We're in the presence of a node, so it is difficulty 3. And as she's standing there, you watch as this sort of within her hand, there's just a small flicker at first, and then just this pulsing sort of prismatic light forms out into a very large, or into a long whip made out of energy, which Maggie does a few flourishes with.
Whoa. Did you just go all Steven Universe and yeah, you did.
I don't know what Steven Universe is, but
Does she actually make the gesture like she's drawing it out of the heart chakra? Because that would be amazing. Yeah. Oh, you got to watch that show. There's a character. So I'm not going to explain all the background. One of the characters, her weapon of choice is a whip, and she has a stone right here, and she kind of taps a finger to her breastbone. She has a stone here. That's where she manifests it from. But yours isn't solid, is it? I mean, is it?
No, it's a manifestation of quintessence, mystical energy.
Huh.
And she will focus on it for a bit longer. Oh, damn. So yeah, she will put enough in successes for it to actually last for the scene. And she'll whip it around a few times and sort of present it in front of Taylor, just warning her not to touch it.
Which is a good thing, because she already had a hand cocked up to poke it. And she just slowly lowers the hand.
This weapon is part of a spell that I created called a rote. It's sort of a way of manifesting our magic that we memorize and become familiar with until we can remember the pattern instantly. And what we get is, all kinds of spells, but this one specifically I call Kali's Slash.
That's a nifty reference.
My order is very based in Hindu.
Huh.
As far as the roots go to it, but I channeled this through my belief that there is an essence or an energy that is in its own way divine. And my art helped to focus that power into something that I can manifest.
Huh. So, okay. Well, let me give this a go. And she'll start tugging the yarn, and let it just kind of a big old loop of it start kind of trailing to the ground rather than trying to stuff it back in her pocket or something. And oh my god, put up the picture of your familiar again in the corner. I need a color reference. Do it.
Hang on.
God damn it, he's fabulous. So yeah, you know what? He's a honey badger. We're gonna go with like golden brown colors. She's got it's not the fanciest yarn, but it's got gradient of colors. So she'll tug it out, tug it out, tug it out until she's left with just like the little starting knot and loop. Slip the hook back in, tighten it, arrange the yarn through her fingers the particular way she just personally happens to hold it to maintain tension, and hooks through a simple chain and then flips it about and starts doing something a little more complex. Definitely a more ornamental sort of stitch. And let's see how that goes. Oh, it goes way better this time. Way, way, way better. So that's 9 successes.
Hot diggity damn.
So she starts this like just needlessly elaborate. We'll say she's doing like a crocodile stitch, which comes out looking really interesting, and the stitches involved to make it aren't hard, but keeping count and creating it is definitely a lot more tedious. Takes a lot more focus to do and to keep it straight, especially when you've got to flip it about. So she just starts furiously crocheting. And the result as she gets a couple.
We might have a party crasher here in a bit, but
Huh?
we might have a party crasher, but just in case they're watching, they are more than welcome to join us. Maggie will put a hand on Taylor's back and just kind of give it a soft rub.
And let's see. I'm not sure that she's necessarily trying to accomplish anything. How about we'll do prime sight since she's trying to figure out how she sees it, how she sees magic. She probably didn't think about it that literally, but that's what it's gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
Do the successes in using the item or the tool or whatever make any change in?
If it's very specialized to you, it makes a -1 difficulty.
And what's the difficulty for where we are and what we're doing?
Well, we're next to a node, so it's -3. So you're already at your lowest difficulty you can get for a site.
Sweet. So she'll do all that. I guess it's what, 1 to activate and 1 for duration, or
you can draw out the cast for a little bit longer if you want.
Ooh. How long does each roll signify?
If it's fast casting, I think per turn, and considering that you're still at -3 diff, you're still more than okay to do it for a bit longer.
That's true. Let's see if I get any.
That's more than enough to have it last for the scene, and you can be able to see it.
Sweet. So yeah, she'll get to going very studiously on this scarf, and get several rows in when she starts to realize that the strands of like the length of yarn is more than just yarn now. It's kind of glimmery and shiny. And as she kind of stubbornly goes about it just a little bit longer, finishing the stitch she was on, she'll finally, pull the loop long again to make sure it doesn't accidentally get pulled out, kind of wrap it around the hook, stab the hook through the stitches in the little scarf to secure it, and glance up and go, well, kind of owl-eyed.
I guess for Maggie, you can kind of see that like that whip is literally linked to her heart chakra. Like you can see like the chakra flow in her, and her various chakra points actually glowing with sort of the tantric symbols for each of them. And the artwork that she did on her right arm actually is glowing, and that whip just looks like it's a beacon of light.
So, insofar as how Taylor's going to see the lot of it, especially being Umbraside, the weave is definitely the appropriate term. She's looking around, and everything just seems to be connected through stitches or patterns, loops, crocheting, knitting, knots, strands. The note itself probably looks like, probably like a spool, essentially. And as far as things like up in detail, looking at Maggie's arms, the patterns that she's drawn are probably going to look like really fine embroidery, almost. And same with the chakras and whatnot. Each chakra is probably one of the very complicated kind of, the Chinese or Japanese knot patterns you can do, with the strands going between them or out to her arms or wherever have you. And she's just going to kind of marvel. I don't know what to compare it to, really. The expression on her face, it's just like a constant state of holy shit.
Maggie was able to sense that you activated your sight, and she just kind of she crouches down in front of Taylor and pats her on the shoulder. Good job.
I did a thing, and I didn't find a pen or my crochet hook. And she's kind of whipping her head around looking at everything.
I'm going to take it that wide-eyed expression means you activated a sight of some kind.
Yes.
I'm not exactly sure what you can see right now.
Magic.
Prime. Probably the prime sphere.
Well, that's the super magic one, right? She's still like, oh, she's staring up the tree again. God help her.
Probably see like the stitches that make up the ley lines and everything like that.
Yep. Considering what the tree is and all, it probably looks like either the most intricate weaving and knot work, or yeah, it's complex. She kind of starts thoughtlessly wandering towards the trunk, still managing to step over roots and stuff because they're still there. She can see them, but they've just got these patterns in them. And she'll probably look like someone who is stoned out of her brain because she's going to walk like right up to the trunk and just be like staring, because the closer she gets, the more detail she sees. It's insane.
It's a lot of chi, isn't it?
What?
Chi. Base block of the universe.
Magic?
More than that.
How do you get to more than magic?
Eventually, you might understand.
Maybe.
How you holding up, kid?
And she's gonna try and kind of like tilt her head and really look at him, put the prime side up.
He has the kind of pattern that Taylor may or may not have seen on a mage. It looks different than if she were looking at a normal person.
This is her first time activating Prime Sight, so the only comparison she has is Maggie.
Ooh, they're pretty.
They're so shiny. Look at all the colors. Oh, and actually, will his jacket look especially interesting or different?
No,
Oh, that's right, because it has to be active. Pooh. She'll actually probably wander up and like, no, I'm doing good. Why? And she'll wander up and kind of like, she's trying not to be super rude and get all up in his personal space, but at the same time, she's kind of like gingerly grabbing at the, not the collar, but kind of one of the open front of the jacket if he's wearing it, and like turning it over to glance at the lining and being like, why doesn't it look different?
because it's not.
But
It's
I thought
just
it
a
was
jacket.
magic.
Everything eventually reverts to its base.
So it's not magic anymore?
Not magic anymore.
Well, damn.
I know.
Maggie kind of looks over at Ken. You enchant your jacket.
Somebody else did before a run.
Okay.
Huh.
Just be a deer and don't stare at the splotches.
What? She just decides to promptly lose interest in that jacket. She doesn't want to know what the splotches are.
Yeah, comparing the two patterns. On Maggie, there's maybe one or two splotches. Ken is covered in them.
Define splotches.
They're darker spots in the pattern.
In his?
Yes.
Personally?
Yes.
Oh. So yeah, she'll kind of blink and look at him and look at her and look at him and knit her brow a little, but he said not to look close, so she's not going to ask.
You're just gonna throw that out there and not even give her the meaning of it.
She's bright.
Fair enough. At least you figured out what her tool is, what her focus is. That's
Good. How you
And yeah,
feeling?
she's got a couple layers worth of this crazy, like, it really does look like just, well, it's not very thick yarn, so they're not huge, but it looks like a scale pattern that she's created somehow with knotting and looping.
Cool.
Well, I'm doing good.
That's wonderful, but I was asking Maggie.
Oh.
Maggie will do one last flourish, almost for her own benefit, with the lash, and then she'll sort of squeeze it into non-existence. And she'll just kind of give a shrug. I'm alive.
Good. I needed to start arming up.
Rose?
Amongst other things.
No.
Whatever boom you've got, make sure it's prepared.
I've got a few nasty tricks that I've brought together. I thought of one that I can do to people. Still working on how to extend that out.
As long as it can punch through an engine block, I don't care.
Removing someone's gravity relative to the rotational speed of the planet.
That's nice for individuals, but I need you to be ready to stop a vehicle or anything like a vehicle.
What
That's
are...
pretty
Should I be learning how to boom a thing?
good.
Well, it
Always.
depends, Taylor. I'm not much of a boom guy. I know a couple. Maggie over here, when she really wants to, when she has time to build it up, it's a hell of a boom. We need
Oh.
to start preparing now. Have all your ducks in a row before we move, because I don't know when that's going to be.
Wait, you're not thinking about getting her involved in this, are you?
In a manner of speaking.
She's way too green for that.
She's not too green to do me a favor. And he takes off his jacket and the shirt he wears over it, or
Under it, I hope.
rather. I know, right? That'd be kind of weird. But,
So he's just
under it-
stripping.
yeah, and it comes down to something that's more of an undershirt and the actual Kevlar vest. See this? And he knocks on the chest plate.
Yeah.
So when we first met, you told me you were very, very good at finagling with items.
Yeah. I don't need magic for that.
Excellent. Now this thing, very protective. It saved my life more than once. It's not the best for maneuvering in. I need you to work out the kinks, build up a custom fit.
Well, does it... So at the risk of sounding really odd, does it have to be Kevlar? Or can it be like metal plates?
Kevlar works better than metal.
It does?
Most of the time.
All right. She starts kind of nibbling on her lip.
Like I said, if you can work out a way to make it more, I don't know, at least wearable by me so I can move around better, that'd be great.
Yeah, hold on a second. And she starts like fishing through the pockets in her coveralls. Pulls out this, one of those really little flippity notebooks. And fishes a pen out of another one. Continues rooting. Finally goes for like the butt pocket. Goes, ha! Got it. And yanks out a measuring tape, like a cloth measuring tape. But you're gonna have to take it off for a second.
That's fine. And he takes it off. He's still wearing an undershirt. Nothing special is going on here.
And yeah.
As he's doing that, Maggie will sort of just, while she's looking at it, lean over. She almost seems like a dead ringer for the Aetherites.
If there were any left.
What's that? She asks as she goes through like a flurry of very, very quickly and very adeptly, she'll whip the thing around, whip it around him, tug it taut like right to skin level, never tight enough to really press at him, but just enough to get a pretty accurate read on it. And she'll do things like nudge his arms up or nudge him down or move around him, just getting a slew of what you'd think were kind of inane measurements, but, well, she seems to know what she's doing. And she's jotting them down. She'll transfer the measuring tape to her teeth, jot it down, go on to the next one.
Society of Aether, it's one of the 9 traditions.
Is that good?
I mean, it's not bad.
Depends on your perspective, really.
What do they do?
They're tinkerers, as far as I know. Tinkerers, mad science, steampunk holdouts, that sort of thing.
I mean, steampunk's pretty good stuff, but making it actually work seems a lot harder than making it look cool.
Well, you may enjoy that.
Well, definitely didn't say it was bad, but
If there are any left, I'll see what I can do.
And after a couple more measurements, she'll seem satisfied, flick the little notebook shut, start stuffing the measuring tape into another random pocket. Tuck
So
that pen into another one.
So what information do you have on all the stuff that's going on? She's Ken at this point.
Ken bends over to put the vest back on to pick it up, and one of his scars shows very briefly on his lower back before he's putting clothes back on. Well, the VAs are already either gone or scattered to the wind for the most part. Etherites along with them. As you and I both know, the Chakravanti are done. So are the Akashics.
Now, anyway.
I haven't been able to reach out to many others.
I haven't been getting much answer in the way of leadership from my tradition, so...
I've been trying to push people to find survivors.
I was gonna say, when they hit a place like that, are they really getting everyone? Like, you'd think there'd be, I don't know. I mean, Astrid lives in her own place. She doesn't stay in one of those chantries.
I
Gotta
don't
be
think their
people still
systems are
out.
perfect. And I don't think they're able to catch every squirter that comes out the back of the building.
Kat and I are two such survivors of a chantry attack. We were there when the Chakravanti went down. We got
Like I
attacked
said.
by Arnold Schwarzenegger and a bunch of his mad dogs.
And one of the clones.
Oh, yeah. That was what that was? That wasn't just like a construct?
Construct, clone. I mean, when your identity comes off a production line. I haven't seen any more combat cyborgs since, I don't know, that day. We can probably bet the thing running after us wasn't exactly human.
No, I'm guessing probably not. But neither of those dogs that attacked us were neither just not dogs either.
Robo Fido.
Well, Fido did not much appreciate the fire extinguisher down the throat.
Edwin sent out some sort of message.
I saw that.
I prefer to ignore his existence.
I noticed that too. But the Daj in this club is a fortress.
Fortresses fall.
Yeah, I know. But as far as mages in battle outside of the Akashics and the Chakravanti, I don't think they're too better than the Hermetics, in the strictly magical sense anyway.
The guys he's got on hand are low in the totem pole, but at least a couple of them have initiative.
Where are you staying right now?
Ken waves his fingers. All over.
Have you invested yourself into a chantry since the tower?
Amongst other things.
I've still got my resources that I was able to salvage. Maybe put to work somewhere, but
Like I said, put him to work arming up.
well, I can make charms now, so that's a plus.
Then do that.
What's that?
The temporary, an item that's been temporarily imbued with magic. She'll sort of gesture to her coat, which, from even with the prime sphere, looks very unassuming.
Ken digs into his pocket, Drums up a pill bottle. Shakes it a couple times. See these?
And she'll go from glancing at the coat and kind of giving it the frowny face because it's not like blatantly shiny and freaking magic, and snaps around and glances.
She sees 4 balls of shiny in the bottle.
Oh,
These are not vitamins.
yeah, they don't look like vitamins.
He shoves them back in his coat pocket.
Well, damn. Can I at least do that? I don't know how to make fire anymore, but I know how to make stuff.
Takes time and practice. I've been doing this now for over 6 years. 5 if we're going by chronological. And I've only just mastered that ability to be able to actually imbue an object with primal energy enough to make a magical effect stay within it.
Some people are better than others.
She kind of gives her lip another, like, frustrated nibble and thought, I don't know, you said most people can't throw fire either to start. Maybe I'm like a gifted student.
I mean, I'm not saying you're not, but at the same time,
Some of us have masters. Some of us just kind of found our own way.
I'm not saying a teacher wouldn't go awry, but I wonder if I looked at it like this. If I could. She kind of glances around thoughtfully. And seems to just kind of wander in a random direction and just kind of reaches out like she's trying to snag something midair. Not sure what happens if she does something like that, but she's just kind of like trying to grasp that weave that she's seeing everywhere. I mean, how hard could it be to just, I don't know, hook it in with the rest of what you're doing?
It can be pretty hard. Eventually, you know what? I think I have an answer. There's at least one person I rely on to spit things out like that. You want to learn about at least part of the process of how these things are made?
Yeah.
Talk to Isis.
Who's Isis?
I'll shoot her a text. I'll see if I can get you two to meet up.
she's
All right.
kind of a druid, for lack of a better term.
Sounds cool to me.
Not everything she's going to say is going to make sense to you, but the important parts will.
I guess. Well, you said different people see it work in different ways. So, yeah, I guess all the details might not match up, but as long as the theory behind it's good.
For instance, Maggie insists on the term prime. I don't see prime.
What do you see?
My magic's my own. You see what you believe.
I want to try. I guess give her my number? Do you have the new number? Did Jade tell you? Did I tell you? I can't remember.
It's easy enough for me to get it.
She kind of like paws her pockets over again, finally pulls out a phone, flicks through the contacts list, and just like clicks on him, shoots him a quick message.
It doesn't go through because there are no cell towers in the Umbra.
seems confused.
She has no
Um,
bars.
Ken pulls out his phone, not knowing any better either, and also realizes he has like no bars.
Maggie's
Oh.
just pinching the bridge of her nose.
Ken eventually, because she's literally right there, just walks over, opens up something that doesn't require the bars to be working, and just
By
types it
manually
in.
just putting it in, yeah.
He just manually puts it in.
Well, that works too.
Quaint.
Shoves it in his pocket. I'll hook you up, buddy.
Awesome.
I'm sorry things aren't going very quickly. You didn't come at an ideal time.
I mean, you make it sound like there isn't much of an ideal time.
Some are more ideal than others.
Could have been worse.
Could have
always
She
get
could have
worse.
had to deal with a giant snake.
I don't know. I think I'd prefer a snake over Agent Smith.
My favorite were the harpoons.
What? Like random harpoons.
Oh, okay, more like grappling hooks.
What?
Maggie and I had a bit of a wild ride.
Okay. Would you grapple a helicopter or some shit?
Some very enterprising young individuals tried to grapple us.
Oh.
On a highway, going at highway speeds.
Oh.
It didn't work out so well for them.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like the smartest idea they'd ever had.
We also never got the deposit back from that truck.
Is that what happened to the truck?
Different truck.
Yeah. The grappling hooks, the shotgun, the completely mashed up back end. Never saw that security deposit again.
I can imagine why.
It all worked out, though.
This is true. Those guys that were trying to kill us stopped dead in their tracks.
And that's what you get for trying to reenact Road Warrior.
It helped, though, that we had luck on our side and they didn't have it on theirs.
Dumbass hit his buddy.
Dumbass did hit his buddy.
I could say a lot of things about Maggie over here, but she never shot me on accident.
Well, I imagine when you're flapping around behind a car from a grappling hook, it's easy to misfire. I don't.
I don't think it did more than bounce off the truck at best if they didn't just hit each other.
Ooh.
Yeah, he literally grappled his friend and then fell off the truck, and then the guy got drugged with him.
Ooh. Oh, that's like cheesy writing bad.
In it. And then the other guy in the driver's seat was hanging out his driver's side window trying to pepper us with shotgun shells. Ken decided that an abrupt stop was needed, knocked him out, and while he was trying to climb back into his cab, a bit of misfortune befell him.
Like, guy not in a car in a highway misfortune.
Ken
Like-
wiggles his fingers.
Blank.
I made his fingers go numb. He wasn't able to maintain his grip.
And off he went, and bye-bye truck.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I did a spectacular flip on the highway.
Oh.
Anyway,
That's clever.
to be honest with you, I just came around to see if this was real. I have my answer.
It's definitely a really big tree.
Just be careful. Word on the grapevine is other people visit this place.
Weren't you talking about that last night? Kind of glances over at Maggie.
Yeah, the wolves.
I mean, is
Nasty,
there...
nasty customers. If I still have a copy of that one disc, you are welcome to watch it.
What disc?
Some things happened.
What things?
Remember how I
Nasty
told you
things.
Naomi got ragdolled by a werewolf?
Yeah?
I'm guessing probably that.
Why would I want to watch that?
Well, I don't think it actually did her any permanent harm. oddly
Didn't do a
enough.
damn thing except for get drool all over.
But what?
Lots of drool. Like that shirt was
Ew.
ruined.
Ew.
I know, right? I've met a couple. I'm told they're the more reserved type of their species.
Okay. Are there things you do and don't do to make them angry?
If you ever meet one named Garrett, he's alright.
Maggie's just kind of, as she's sitting there applying her craft to something, she just kind of looks up over at Ken with a dubious look.
Quiet guy. Likes to keep things calm. Looks a lot like Norman Reedus.
I still don't see the resemblance.
That is a Daryl Dixon motherfucker.
He's really not.
Blink.
Daryl Dixon.
And he really doesn't keep things quiet and mellow. He's yelled at me at more than a few occasions recently.
Blink.
Are you like okay, Maggie? Is there something you want to tell me?
I don't know. Are you
Yeah.
one of the people that didn't hear about me and him?
He shrugs. It's news to me, but, well. Anyway,
Is whatever she's doing something that Taylor would be able to see with Prime set up?
Oh yeah.
What
She
does
is.
it look like?
She is pulling together this sort of like bright green essence into her hands.
Taylor is
Wow.
now only half listening.
anyway. If you do ever need to talk, just seriously for a minute, do not be afraid to call me. I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to mock you, but if things are going a certain way, call me, okay?
Yeah, no, I got you. I just kind of slipped my mind that I hadn't even told everybody. Yeah. Garrett and I were a thing.
It's your personal business, but I am your friend.
Just a very quiet, just smile there. Because Maggie's never going to get tired of hearing that. Ever.
Anyway, I have a wonderful, wonderful shift to go start. Just thought I'd drop by.
Before you go, and she is still working this thing out. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need to roll for stamina. She's good. Oh! Oh no!
What is occurring in front of me?
And down to 3.
A botch.
Is it cumulative, or is each roll a separate roll?
It was, I cleared it out so I could roll her stamina, and then this happened.
Well,
And
that's.
so,
I'm just asking overall.
Alright.
If it's cumulative, it would just remove 2 successes as opposed to being a separate botch.
No, each roll has its own stuff going on with it.
Oh dear.
so Maggie kind of gets tossed about 20 feet or so as her spell goes awry.
Ken is
Um,
running.
I think she'll take a couple of points of ag from that. As she kind of gets, or I'm gonna say that she kind of gets knocked end over end, and she ends up like sitting on her ass, her hair sizzling.
Jesus. What? Are you okay?
She just holds up a finger. I'm good. Just need a minute. And at this point, like I'm guessing her nose is probably bleeding at this point.
God damn it, you're not okay. Come on.
Taylor is probably furiously rubbing her eyes because she was watching that process and then it went boom really brightly. So she's just kind of like, shit!
Oh, that hurt a lot.
I fucking bet it did, Maggie.
So she'll stand up and she'll wipe away her nose, because I imagine, because her nose always bleeds. That's just a thing with Maggie.
You look kind of fucked up, dude. Are you sure?
I'll be. She's hesitant, but she'll take some of the blood and draw out a healing chakra. And yeah, she'll take up one of those as she just kind of pats herself on the face with a bit of that wild energy to sort of heal up, and she shakes her head. I'm good. I just lost concentration and the spell went all wibbly wobbly.
Taylor's now kind of half blindly stumbling over.
Next time, concentrate so you don't scare the shit out of me.
Normally it's not that hard here. Normally it's like just dipping your hand in water.
Well,
Done magic near a node before.
This ain't normally, okay? You're gonna be okay. I gotta go.
Alright.
And he looks at
No.
Taylor. You watch her.
Yeah. She's still like scrubbing at one eye, but is he like hefting Maggie up?
No, he's not gonna manhandle someone who just underwent trauma.
Smart cookie. Yeah, she's gotten over there by now and is nodding vigorously and still kind of like blinking as if trying to clear her eyes.
Okay.
Shit.
I know she can fix this. You keep an eye on her. And he does the gesture where he points at both eyes and then points to Taylor. Understand me?
Yeah. I gotcha. Aye, Captain.
Good. Don't call me Captain. And Ken begins to walk off.
Maggie is going to plop herself down in amongst some wildflowers, and it suddenly starts to become more verdant around her once she sits down.
Taylor's gonna go ahead and flop onto the grass next to her because, well, she has zero compunctions about sitting in the dirt.
So I'm trying to get the ringing out of my ears.
Yep. Still blinking.
Mom. So last night, some of them gave you the rundown of some of their traditions.
Well, I tried. It gets a little confusing. There seems to be a lot of them.
I guess right now would be as good a time as any to talk about the Chakravanti if you were interested.
I mean, doesn't hurt to listen.
Well, we go by a common name of the Thanatos. Chakravanti is more of a traditional name. Do you understand the idea of cyclic existence?
What, you mean like the whole rebirth thing?
Mhm.
Yeah. I got through school okay.
It's essentially what the Chakravanti are all about. Protecting the Great Wheel in a way of protecting the cycle. Life, death, rebirth. Genesis, decay, alpha, omega, all of that.
All right.
And we enforce it as strongly as possible.
What do you mean enforce it?
Great Wheel, as we call it, that cycle,
Yeah?
always turning. And one of our sacred duties is to ensure that while those plates are spinning, we do our best to keep them spinning as perfectly as possible. And sometimes that means saving a life here or taking a life there.
That's not morbid.
Well, these thanatos are sometimes called death mages.
Very endearing, I guess. Doesn't that bother you being called that?
Stereotypes exist for a reason within the traditions, even the disparates. But it's not just focusing and understanding death, it's also understanding life, understanding fate, divination, chances, probabilities. The list goes on and on. We practice primarily in the sphere of life, entropy, things like that.
Suppose that makes sense.
I guess one of the things that a lot of people don't seem to care to look into is, they see all the bad stuff, murders and assassinations, things like that, which, truth, any disparate or tradition has put on their hands. But we look into maintaining balance and order, making sure that chaos isn't a prevailing force as much as we can prevent it.
Makes sense.
In my case, I heal people, sick, dying, injured, as best I can.
Well, but does that mean you'd have to do the opposite? When it needed doing?
If it was my karma or my destiny to do it, yeah. I haven't had to take anyone's life in order. I've unfortunately had to take a few lives out of matters of defense. That construct or clone that Ken was mentioning before, the one that looked like Violet, I had to, or I killed that one before it could attack us. And I've killed another technocrat in my time.
Well, I mean, especially on the latter, I guess it's you or them, isn't it?
Unfortunately, yeah. They don't seem to do much in the way of bartering or putting up non-aggression pacts.
Yeah, they seemed pretty goal oriented, you know. I guess is the nicest way to put it.
They are German, I'll give them that. But in any event, I just thought learning and all, you might want to hear straight from the horse's mouth as much as possible.
It seems like the better way to do it.
But she'll stand up and finally wipe off the last bit of blood from her nose. And yeah, she will put together another quick jostling of magic before she heals up the last damage from the explosion.
Whew. That's pretty cool.
You too can have this power for only a low price of $19.95 per month for the next 8 months.
I get the feeling you're joking.
I am. Anyhow, I'm gonna go out for a bit of pie. Would you like to join me?
Yeah, sure.
And she'll offer out a hand to help pull Tyler up from her seat in the grass.
Yep, and she'll hop right up.
And off they will go to have pie. I think that's a perfect
Sweet,
point
sweet pie.
for calling it a scene. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching.